My beloved child. There was a moment that seemed ordinary to everyone standing nearby, a moment so small that it could have easily disappeared into the noise of another passing day. Yet what happened in that instant carried a weight no one expected, because the words that left your lips were not born from anger, pride, or the need to prove anything. They emerged from a place much deeper, a place within you that had been quietly shaped by countless nights of reflection, silent battles, hidden tears, and lessons learned when nobody was watching. The room did not immediately change when you spoke. The walls remained still, the air remained calm, and people continued breathing as though nothing remarkable had happened. Yet beneath the surface, something powerful moved through the hearts of those who heard you, because truth has a way of traveling farther than sound, reaching places that ordinary conversations can never touch. Many people spend years searching for the perfect words to impress others, but what came through you was different. It carried no performance, no disguise, and no desire for applause. The depth of what you expressed revealed something that many had forgotten existed, a reminder that genuine wisdom does not shout from mountaintops but often arrives through a quiet voice carrying undeniable sincerity. Long after the conversation ended, your words remained alive in their minds. Some replayed the moment while driving home, others remembered it while lying awake at night, and a few found themselves unexpectedly emotional because something within them had finally been awakened. Type Amen if this message resonates with your spirit. The remarkable thing was not simply what you said. The remarkable thing was the timing. Many of the people who heard you had been carrying invisible burdens, doubts they never shared, fears they carefully hid behind smiles, and questions they could not answer even for themselves. Without realizing it, you became a mirror. Your words reflected truths they had been avoiding, and for a brief moment, they saw themselves clearly. Not the version they presented to the world, but the version hidden beneath years of expectations and distractions. Some felt inspired. Some felt uncomfortable. Some even felt emotional in ways they could not explain. Yet all of them felt something, because authenticity possesses a unique power that reaches beyond logic and enters directly into the soul. The conversations that followed revealed just how deeply your message landed. People spoke about your words with unusual intensity, repeating certain phrases, analyzing their meaning, and sharing them with others who had not even been present. The ripple continued expanding far beyond what you could see. Somewhere in the middle of all this unseen movement, a gentle spiritual realization began unfolding. The universe often works through ordinary people in extraordinary ways, and sometimes the deepest impact comes from individuals who never intended to become messengers at all. You may not fully understand the influence you carry, but influence is rarely measured by volume. The strongest forces in life often move quietly, changing hearts one moment at a time rather than demanding immediate recognition. There was a season when your own voice felt uncertain. There were days when you questioned your value, wondered whether your thoughts mattered, and struggled to see the purpose behind certain experiences. Yet every challenge became part of a greater preparation. Each disappointment taught compassion. Each setback created wisdom. Each period of silence strengthened your ability to listen. The person who spoke those unforgettable words was not created overnight but formed through a journey that shaped your perspective in ways few people completely understand. What others heard was the result of everything you survived. They heard strength wrapped in gentleness, confidence balanced by humility, and truth delivered without cruelty. That combination is rare, and rarity naturally commands attention. Many people expected you to become bitter after what you experienced. They assumed the hardships would harden your heart or diminish your spirit. Instead, you transformed pain into understanding, and that transformation became visible the moment you opened your mouth. Comment 333 if you are embracing your inner growth. Archangel Michael says that some souls are given experiences not to break them but to refine them. The lessons that once felt heavy eventually become gifts that help illuminate the path for others, and this is exactly why your words carried such unusual depth. People sense that your message came from lived experience rather than borrowed wisdom. They recognize the difference immediately. Authenticity leaves a signature that cannot be duplicated, and your spirit carried that signature with unmistakable clarity. Those who once underestimated you found themselves reconsidering everything they believed. The assumptions they held began dissolving because your words revealed dimensions of your character they had never bothered to explore. There was no need for you to defend yourself. There was no need to argue. There was no need to convince anyone of your worth. Truth stood on its own, and its presence became stronger than any explanation you could have offered. Meanwhile, many individuals quietly started examining their own lives. Your message encouraged self-reflection in ways they never anticipated. Some began questioning habits that no longer served them. Others started reconsidering relationships, goals, and priorities. The power of a meaningful message is never limited to the moment it is spoken. Its influence continues unfolding long after the sound disappears, creating transformations that often remain invisible until much later. Your words reached places hidden beneath layers of pride, fear, and emotional armor. They touched old wounds while also offering healing. They challenged illusions while creating space for clarity. The people discussing you now are not simply talking about a conversation. They are talking about how that conversation made them feel. They are talking about the unexpected awakening it created within them. Every soul carries memories of moments that changed its direction forever. For some individuals, your words became one of those moments. They may never tell you directly, but a shift occurred, and that shift continues influencing their choices. Type "I receive" if you are stepping into your purpose. My beloved child, there are seasons when your impact remains hidden from your eyes. Seeds planted through kindness, wisdom, and truth often grow beneath the surface long before visible results appear. The people reflecting on your message are experiencing their own inner journey now. Some are releasing old narratives. Some are rediscovering forgotten dreams. Some are learning to trust themselves again after years of doubt. What makes this especially powerful is that none of it required force. You did not pressure anyone. You did not demand attention. You simply expressed what was genuine within your heart. There is tremendous spiritual strength in speaking from a place of alignment. When your words match your soul, they carry an energy that others can feel even when they cannot fully explain it. The world is filled with noise, yet genuine wisdom remains unforgettable. People remember how authenticity feels because it reminds them of something sacred within themselves. As days continue passing, the discussion surrounding you keeps evolving. New people hear about what happened. New interpretations emerge. New reflections are shared. The ripple extends beyond the boundaries of the original moment. Many are beginning to realize that your strength was never loud. It was steady. It was patient. It was built through resilience rather than recognition. The depth they heard in your voice reflected years of unseen growth. Every challenge that once seemed meaningless contributed to the insight you now carry. Nothing was wasted. There is beauty in recognizing how far you have come. Not because perfection has been achieved, but because transformation has taken place. The version of you standing today possesses awareness that did not exist before. People often admire the fruit while overlooking the roots. Yet the roots tell the real story. The quiet work, the hidden healing, and the personal growth created the foundation for everything others now see. Comment 777 if you are growing stronger every day. Archangel Michael says that true spiritual maturity reveals itself through calm conviction rather than dramatic displays. The energy surrounding your words reflected this maturity, and that is why so many people felt its impact. Even those who disagreed with certain aspects of what you expressed could not completely dismiss it. Something about the message lingered. Something continued echoing through their thoughts. This lingering effect is the hallmark of meaningful truth. It does not disappear when a conversation ends. It stays present, gently inviting deeper reflection. Some individuals are currently facing situations where your words suddenly make sense in entirely new ways. Lessons often reveal their full meaning when life creates the proper context for understanding. Others are beginning to see you differently. The image they once held has expanded because your authenticity challenged their assumptions. They are discovering dimensions of your spirit they never noticed before. Recognition arrives in many forms. Sometimes it appears as praise. Sometimes it appears as respect. Sometimes it appears as silent reflection. Each carries its own significance. You are entering a chapter where your voice carries increasing influence because it is rooted in experience rather than performance. People naturally gravitate toward wisdom that feels real. The most remarkable aspect of this journey is that you never needed to become someone else. The impact came from becoming more fully yourself. Authentic expression created what imitation never could. There is freedom in this realization. You do not have to chase approval. You do not have to manufacture significance. Your greatest strength emerges when you remain aligned with your deepest truth. My beloved child, continue trusting the wisdom shaped within you through every season of growth. The words that rise from a sincere heart possess a light capable of guiding others even when you cannot see where that light travels. Those discussing you today are participating in a much larger unfolding story. The influence of one meaningful moment often extends far beyond immediate circumstances, touching lives in ways that remain invisible for months or even years. The energy surrounding your message continues moving through conversations, reflections, and personal revelations. People are carrying pieces of that experience into their daily lives, allowing it to shape new perspectives and inspire meaningful change. The journey ahead contains additional opportunities to share your voice, your insight, and your presence. Not because you must prove anything, but because authenticity naturally creates connection wherever it appears. The deeper truth hidden beneath all of this is simple. Your words mattered because your spirit was present within them. Your message resonated because it emerged from lived experience. Your influence expanded because sincerity traveled farther than performance ever could. And somewhere tonight, while countless people continue reflecting on what you said, a quiet understanding is settling into their hearts. The depth they encountered was not an accident. It was the natural expression of a soul that chose growth over bitterness, wisdom over reaction, and truth over illusion. The conversation may have started with a few words, but its impact became something much greater. It became a reminder that one sincere voice can awaken reflection, inspire transformation, and leave an imprint on hearts that will not soon fade. The echoes continue. The ripple expands. The message lives on. Type Amen and claim the strength, wisdom, and purpose already growing within you. The story does not end with the conversations taking place around you. In many ways, that was only the beginning. What people are discussing now is not merely a sentence you spoke or an opinion you shared. They are talking about the feeling that remained after your words settled into the silence, the feeling that lingered long after everyone had gone their separate ways. Some individuals tried to dismiss the experience at first. They told themselves it was just another conversation, another passing moment in a world full of endless discussions. Yet no matter how much they attempted to move on, something kept drawing them back to that memory, because truth has a strange way of returning when the soul is ready to hear it again. In quiet moments, your words resurfaced unexpectedly. While walking alone, while sitting in traffic, while staring out a window after a long day, they found themselves remembering what you said. The memory appeared without warning, carrying the same emotional weight it held when they first heard it. What surprised them most was how deeply those words connected to their own personal struggles. They realized you had unknowingly spoken to wounds they never revealed and fears they never confessed. The message seemed tailored to experiences you could not possibly have known about, yet somehow it reached them exactly where they needed it most. The universe often works through unseen connections. Souls recognize truth long before the mind fully understands it, and that recognition creates a powerful inner movement. It awakens something ancient within the heart, something that has been patiently waiting beneath layers of distraction and noise. Type 111 if you are ready for deeper clarity. Many who heard you are beginning to release burdens they have carried for years. Not because someone forced them to change, but because your words gave them permission to see themselves differently. Sometimes a single moment of honesty can open a doorway that has remained closed for a very long time. There are people who secretly admire the strength you carry. They may never say it aloud, but they notice the way you remain grounded during difficult seasons. They notice the calmness that appears even when circumstances become challenging. This quiet strength speaks louder than dramatic displays of confidence. It reveals a soul that has learned how to remain steady during storms instead of being controlled by them. Such energy naturally inspires others, even when no effort is made to impress anyone. Your journey has never been about perfection. It has always been about growth. Every setback taught resilience. Every disappointment expanded your understanding. Every unexpected detour contributed another layer to the wisdom you now possess. Archangel Michael says that many people are finally seeing the true depth of your spirit. For a long time, they focused only on what appeared on the surface. Now they are beginning to recognize the strength, compassion, and insight that have quietly existed within you all along. The recognition may arrive slowly, but it is genuine. Authentic respect is built over time, formed through consistent character rather than temporary impressions. This kind of respect lasts because it is rooted in truth. Some people who once doubted you are now re-evaluating their perspective. The image they held no longer matches the reality they are witnessing. They are discovering that there is far more to you than they originally believed. Meanwhile, others are finding courage through your example. They are learning that it is possible to speak honestly without becoming harsh, to remain kind without becoming weak, and to stay authentic without seeking approval from everyone around them. Your presence has become a reminder that strength and gentleness can coexist. Wisdom and humility can walk together. Confidence and compassion can thrive side by side. Comment 444 if you are embracing your inner strength. My beloved child, never underestimate the influence of a heart that remains sincere. In a world where many people hide behind masks, authenticity shines like a light that cannot be ignored. It draws people closer to their own truth, even when they are not consciously seeking it. There is a reason your words carried such weight. They were aligned with lessons earned through experience rather than ideas borrowed from others. What emerges from genuine understanding naturally touches the hearts of those who are ready to receive it. The days ahead will continue revealing the impact of this moment. New opportunities for growth will appear. New connections will form. New insights will emerge. The ripple has not reached its final destination yet. Trust the process unfolding around you. Not everything meaningful happens instantly. Some transformations require time, space, and reflection before their full beauty becomes visible. The people speaking about you today are participating in a larger awakening than they realize. Through their conversations, they are spreading not just your words but the energy behind them. They are sharing a reminder that honesty, depth, and sincerity still have the power to move hearts. The world often celebrates what is loud, fast, and dramatic. Yet the deepest changes usually begin quietly. They begin in moments like this, when a soul speaks from truth and another soul recognizes it. There will come a day when many of these individuals fully understand why your words affected them so deeply. They will see how that moment became a turning point, helping them view their lives from a different perspective. Until then, the seeds continue growing beneath the surface. The lessons continue unfolding. the awakening continues expanding. And your influence continues reaching farther than you can currently imagine. Remember this: the power was never in speaking louder than everyone else. The power was in speaking from a place that was real. That authenticity became the key that unlocked something hidden within the hearts of those who listened. And even now, as the echoes of that moment continue traveling through countless thoughts and conversations, a quiet truth remains. The words that touched their souls came from a spirit that refused to stop growing, refused to stop learning, and refused to stop believing